sports. What a game we have for you here. The first meeting of the year between two of the NFL's most hostile divisional rivals. This matchup always among the most anticipated games of the regular season. It's the Vikings going up against the Packers. With that, we send you up to legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin, where Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis have the call. Gentlemen.
This place first opened way back in 1957. We are inside legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. Offense back on the field here. Let's see what they can do on this play. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. And, Charles, we get a look here at the key inactives, and I tell you what, a big list for being this early in the season.
If there's any silver lining at all, you're hoping you can get these guys back, and now you'll play well down the stretch with them. But what you're also hoping is that the guys who have to play for them, the next man up mentality kicks in, and those guys take care of business.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
Holding offense.
And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
On second down, here's Rodgers. Caught by Cobb. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Yeah, they've got an extra defensive back out there now on 3rd and 13. Throwing is Rodgers. Finding time. And he completes it to Jordy Nelson. It'll be a gain of 11, and it'll be 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping them from a first down.
Now stopped him in his tracks. And that will bounce out of bounds before they can get a return going. To live action. Let's see what this offense can do here on this play. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Caught by Nelson left side. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. They were ready for what the defense was showing. They had prepared for that look, recognized it, went straight to the air, got the first. Well done.
Love the recognition because you can prepare for everything. You can watch the tape and put together your game plan, but you still have to understand what they're doing in terms of what they're shooting.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Daniil Hunter in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback because he had no chance to block him.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. He's going to air one out, and he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
When teams take shots at the end zone, you've got to defend it the same way you would defend the first down sticks. You defend the goal line exactly the same way. They can't cross that. You play through the receivers, and on that play, that's exactly what they did and batted it away.
Incomplete pass on second down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on third. On third and long, it's Rodgers. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Everson Griffin in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it'll be fourth down.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So as it turns out, that sack does not wind up costing him, at least in terms of getting points. They get 3.
Yeah, once you see your quarterback go down the backfield, you think, uh-oh. But fortunately for them, the kicker...
Offense back out there now. Let's see what they can put together. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And they'll run it here. And he's brought down. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. One quarter with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football, and they've got it here with a first down. Now a play fake here on first down. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. Complete left side, the tight end Rodgers. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, and the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position.
All right, the offense back on the field here. Let's see what they can do on this play. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
3rd down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Britton Colquitt now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And it'll be Vikings. So back to live action. Let's see what this offense can do here on this play. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. And a pretty simple completion there underneath, but a successful one for the offense.
Partner, doesn't have to be the big shots downfield all the time. Having that safety net underneath is a great thing for a quarterback.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Smart approach there, using the run to pick up the first. That was a defensive setup they prepared for this week, knowing that keeping it on the ground was the best way to attack it.
And that means also that they're able to read them pretty well. All the things they prepared for, when they get to the line of scrimmage, they see it in pre-snap recognition and know exactly how to attack based on their planning and preparation.
On 1st down, Rodgers. And Rodgers has it over on the right side. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. 13 yards there on the pickup, and it'll be a Green Bay 1st down.
and Richard Rodgers makes the grab, and let's face it, it's going to follow him the rest of his career. The Hail Mary he caught to beat the Lions in 2015 in Detroit, pretty memorable play.
Those Lions fans, they just don't like you right now if they heard that.
I didn't mean to bring it up to, pull the Band-Aid off the wound there. I was just trying to praise Richard Rodgers. Yeah, they're going to be mad at me.
Now Rodgers. Over the middle, Rodgers has it. No gain on the play there. It'll be second down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And once again, the Packers, they're back out in front. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping. Back out there now. Let's see what they can put together. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And they're going to speed things up here. They go play action here on first down. And that is incomplete. So 2nd and 10 here. They come out 5 wide. 3 of them to the right side. Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Offense trying to avoid stalling out, facing a 3rd and 10. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. And that's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Richard Rodgers, that time. And it's 4th down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next position. The offense back on the field here. Let's see what they can do on this play. Rodgers now on first down. And he finds the tight end, Rodgers. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. So the offense lining up first and 10. On first and 10, here's Rodgers. Rodgers brings it in. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or two shy of the 30.
Nice catch by the tight end, Richard Rodgers, and, you know, it came from the quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. Some things just write themselves, don't they?
That's exactly right. Both spelled R-O-D-G-E-R-S, for those wondering.
There you go.
Offense comes to the line now, first and 10. On first down, Rodgers. He gets it over the middle to Cobb. And he's brought down after a good gain. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Rodgers now on first down. Flush to his right. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Aaron Rodgers in the final seconds of the first half. And the Packers have retaken the lead.
Well, someone has a sense of the dramatic here, don't they? Scoring this late in the half to take the lead going into the locker room.
Now they just don't want to... To live action. Let's see what this offense can do here on this play. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
So the offense readies for a 2nd and 4. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
They come up in an offset eye. Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Ah, Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is...
the offense back out there now. Let's see what they can put together. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
I don't know about you, partner, but I'm rubbing my eyes after that play. Did we just see that runner not get yardage? A big-time play by the defense. It does happen occasionally, even against the best running backs who are having big days.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Caught by Nelson left side. Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The Packers defense, they ready themselves here. They are down on the scoreboard. They're just trying to keep the opposition now at bay.
Let's treat it a little bit like tennis. Hold serve. Don't give up anything. Win the point, so to speak.
The offense back on the field here. Let's see what they can do on this play. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. So quite the turnaround in this one from a week ago. And in the meetings, I made a faux pas of asking, hey, did he tweak something last week? Because we thought he just didn't look the same, but he's fine.
And I was so glad you asked that question. I mean, you had to take the brunt of the whole thing, and, of course, I sold you out on it. But
took one for the team.
You knew I was there with you, right? It was a legitimate question, though, because last week, we didn't see what we're seeing today. The quickness to the hole, the ability to make cuts, the good vision. We didn't see any of that. He seemed a little bit sluggish in last week's game. Not so this week. Whatever the preparation was, it's working for him. Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the seams, in the edges. In this case, they tried to attack the middle of the field, but this zone defense didn't allow it because they were able to see the ball come off the quarterback's hands, and everyone was able to react to the football and knock it away.
Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Here's Rodgers to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Third down is the down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
Here's Britton Colquitt now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. To live action. Let's see what this offense can do here on this play. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll make it a second down. And quickly, they get to the line. Now Rodgers throwing on second down. Complete left side, the tight end Rodgers. And he's brought down. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
And coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting into the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Nothing on that one. It'll be second down. And now they're in the hurry-up. And with this drop-off from last week, you know, a guy of his caliber, he doesn't take this very well, does he?
No, not at all. And right now it's a matter of who wants to even be around him at this point and who can be around him, maybe to help him settle down or just to listen to him a little bit and let him vent so he can get it out of his system. It's just such a stark difference from what we saw last week.
Yeah.
You've mentioned many times before how impressed you are with his footwork, his decision-making, his reads. For me, his overall athleticism last week, escaping the pocket and creating big plays. We're not seeing that so far. Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Hits his man. It's Brandon Pettigrew. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Rodgers now on first down. So this is Montgomery with a grab over the middle. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make it second down. And again, it's Rodgers. That is caught at the 7. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Rodgers to now look out. Rodgers lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long, everyone, from Lambeau.